Hi everyone, welcome back to Plum Mashable. So for today's weekly decoration video, we're going to be using the Chasing Planner Piece Wildflowers box. This is so pretty, so let's go ahead and get to it. Alrighty, so I'm going to use the Chasing Planner Piece Wildflowers kit this week. I think it's just stunning. I love it, love it, love it. I wish I had some date covers that go with this, but I don't, so I'm going to play with something else instead. But before I do that, I have a lot to do this week. I've got a couple of jobs and I've got a couple of don't forget. So I want to have a flipper and I want to use the postcard. But this postcard is way too pretty. So because this postcard is way too pretty, I'm going to make something a little bit different. So I'm grabbing in a piece of acetate. I'm just going to move this all up. And I'm also just grabbing my whiteboard marker. So what I'm going to do is I need to trim this to be the size I want. So it's hard to see where the the postcard is sitting, but just trust me. It's sitting 2 squares up here and 3 squares in. Actually, it's going to be 2.5 squares. So I'm going to mark it where I'm going to cut it. So I think. And we'll go ahead and cut this. I'm just making sure I don't putting in my rubbish bin. Just making sure I don't get any markers on words on the postcard, because like I said, it is stunning and I don't want to ruin it. So I'm going to cut this out at my little whiteboard marker line, just using the trimmer. Doesn't matter if it's not perfect, it doesn't have to be exactly this size, it just needed to be a guide. And then I can just wipe the whiteboard marker off with my finger. Now like I said, I know it's hard to see, I'm just wondering if I should I'm just grabbing a bit of white cardboard. I don't know if it'll make it any easier for you guys to see, but hopefully it will. And then I'm going to make this into a little tab, so I'm grabbing my tab punch board here, and I'm just grabbing the side tabs and just making these into tabs. Because I'm going through the acetate, I do need to push a little bit harder than normal. See, it doesn't like that one. If it doesn't like it, that's fine. Just pull it out. And then I just cut it, like fix it with the scissors. It's just a sometimes thing with acetate, it doesn't like it as much. Most of the time though, it's fine. The first one cut perfectly. And I'm just going to round off the 2 corners. Other corners. Again, just pushing that really hard. There we go. So then we've got our basic little shape here. Then what I'm going to do is bring in that postcard again, work out where I want it, grabbing that whiteboard marker. I'm just going to make some little marks near the corners, and you'll see why in a second. And then using my ruler and a craft knife and a cutting mat, we're going to trim this. We'll give these, so we could make it into a little pocket, so it'll hold the postcard in. So again, I know that's really hard for you to see, so you just have to trust me. It'll all make sense in a second because you'll see it. So I'm just grabbing my craft knife. I'm not panicking about the angles or anything here. I just want this to sort of fit in. So I'm just trimming. It's about a 2 centimeter line. You can do it shorter or longer if you want to. It's just sort of where you're comfortable. They're probably all going to be different angles and probably all going to be slightly longer or shorter than each other. But because it's acetate, I'm kind of hoping you won't notice. Some just need to come in at a different angle. Okay. And then same as before, I'm just going to rub my little marks off. And then we'll be able to put the postcard, slide it in here. So you just sort of slide it into the little cuts. I messed that up. No, it's alright, it's okay. I probably needed them to be a little bit higher up, but it will hold it all where it needs to hold it. So So you see now you've got the little acetate holding the postcard. The other thing I wanted to do was I want to add in a little line on the back, a cut line on the back, because then I'm going to have a little pocket. So I'm just lining this up against my mat, and then I'm just marking exactly where I'm going to make my little cut line. I'm going to take the postcard out because I don't want to cut the postcard. But that back is just too pretty to hide on by mounting this up onto anything. That was why I wanted to do this way. I think my angles on the little things are a little bit wrong, but I'll live with it. So just, whoops. I always do this when I'm cutting acetate. It always slides. It will be fine. And then again, just rubbing that off. You can use a tissue if you like. So it looks a little bit funny now, but then when you put it all in, I always get marks on my acetate, doesn't matter what I do. Then you can see you can put this in, you can have something sit in the little pocket. So this will sit in here. It's actually a little bit small, but that's all right. Bit of scrap paper, scrap cardboard, scrap something. There we go. I always have scrap cardboard hanging around the place. You see that's going to sit in there and hold it. Now it has the ability to fall out the bottom. If you're really worried about that, I just grab a bit of washi tape and stick it down. I'm not really worried. It'll hold the list in place, which is all I needed to do. I'm actually going to leave that out because I may use it yet. Then all we need to do is work out where on the page I want this to sit. And it's going to look like a floating postcard. I actually think that's really cool. And I can keep this sheet, like acetate sheet, and I can move it and use it on another week if I want to. I really don't like where I've got those. I don't like where I've got the cuts, and I was just sort of thinking, oh, okay, I'm just going to really quickly go and make that again, but I'm not. I'm going to leave it because it's not bad. There's nothing wrong with it. It will hold the postcard in place, but just know that I meant that to be a little bit better. Just punching the holes out really quick, just using my hole punch for that. Again, used my whiteboard marker to mark where the holes needed to go. Okay. And then that will sit there just like that. And you've got the beautiful back. The back is just so pretty. Alright, let's get to actually putting some stuff on my planner week. So I have some post-it notes for myself because I have some things to remember. Charlotte's got a doctor's appointment on Tuesday, so we'll put that up there as well. So this is where I'm just having a think of how I'm going to do this. I think oh no, because I can put it in the pocket. I was thinking I needed a flipper, but maybe I don't need a flipper. As in something to flip up. I do know I want to use this washi tape, so we're going to start off with that. We'll put that in first and then we'll start building up around it. So I'm going to put this on the top and on the bottom. This tape is amazing. It's so pretty. I wish I had a burgundy name covers to go over the top, but I don't. So depending on how crazy it looks in a second, I am going to try and make my own date covers using the washi tape, but I want to see how crazy it looks before I do that. So I'm just going to go ahead and stick this down on the top and on the bottom, and I'm just going to white out the June on the top and the bottom. little unsure. So I think if I do what I'm thinking, which is put the washi tape down as like a date cover. Number one, it's going to be way too thick. I think it's going to be way too busy. I just don't think it'll quite work. So then the next sort of thing I thought of was, all right, well, let's have a look at some oxides and see if, I think maybe aged mahogany is kind of like the closest thing I've got to a burgundy, and I don't think that's going to work. Sort of needs to be it does need to be a pink, doesn't it? So let's try, it's abandoned coral, no. Arrgh. Alright, this is sort of my last little kind of thought. Just wonder. Might be slightly too red. This is where sometimes it's fun to have a bunch of, because it's way too red. Alright, so I'm going to make myself some date covers. So this is going to be a bit weird. A bit weird. A piece of scrap paper. Okay, so on this little piece of cardboard, which I was going to use for something else, but now I'm going to use for this, I'm just going to colour this whole thing in. So I need 8 of them. How big do I need them to be? This is where sometimes it's good to measure things before you start colouring in bits. So I need this to be, I need them to be 3 centimetres. So this, if this is 6, I'll be really happy. It is, it's dead set 6. Ah. So I'm just going to colour, I'm just going to use the chiselled side of this. Whoops, no I'm not. The chiselled side's a bit dry. That's right. I don't use my RV colours, which are these red pinks, red violets, so I don't use them particularly often, so it doesn't surprise me when they're a bit dry. So I'm just going to colour. Please just hold out long enough for me to get this out. Because this is an alcohol marker, these sort of stripes will calm themselves down eventually. You sort of see already they're blending together. Trying not to do that, which was go over them too much. We'll see if that's enough. So I need to go, I'm just going to make them 1 centimetre high. Didn't do a very good job there, but that's alright. Pencil. So you can do this 2 ways. I'm actually going to show you how I would do this on the trimmer. So I'm just going to take off my little holder guide here. I will clean that little bit of ink off after this video as well. And I'm just going to grab, okay, actually, I'm going to do it this way because it's a little bit easier. This isn't quite 1 centimetre, the actual guide here. It's a little bit less, but it's enough. So I'm going to cut all of these to this side. Oh, I knew I meant to do that. So I'm putting my washi right up against the edge of the metal bit. I'm kind of trusting that my paper is straight. And then I'm going to cut this straight down. And there's one bit, and we'll cut that in half in a sec. So we've got 1, 2, make sure your fingers are well and truly out of the way here, people. 3, oh, I didn't cut enough, good. 4, yep. And I'm going to do something similar. There is centimetre markings on here. Sometimes I trust them, sometimes I don't. Sometimes it's more me. I don't trust me. I'm going to cut these down to the 3 centimetres. covers up my Wednesday. I really don't care if that's slightly... It's actually okay. No, I'm not going to do it now. It's too late. I just thought it would have been really cool for... I could have used the Lawn Fawn little tag to do this, and it would have been better. But I didn't, and I didn't, so we didn't. I don't know what that did just then, but anyway. So I'm just going to go ahead and finish cutting these. I don't know why they're not quite lining up, but I'm just going to do it this way so they're all the same. And then I'm going to use my favourite stickers. Where did I put them? These ones are from Oscar and Lou. They're my absolute favourite day stickers. And my tweezers, if I can find where I put them. I did put them away. So just put these. You can do this either way. So I can either do the dates down first. I'm really worried about that Wednesday now. I don't know if that's going to fit. Kind of like that though. Let's just do the Wednesday together, and then the rest of it I'll go ahead and do on my own. So I'm really pushing that up against the edge. It will be fine. And then what, Wednesday's the 9th? Thank God it's the 9th. Okay, it's going to sit just off, but it'll be fine. Because I do want them to be all the same. It'll be fine. I'll get over it. So I'm going to go ahead and put these all together, stick them down, and I'll be right back. So over my bits and pieces, I'm just going to put this to do from Barney and Moon. I just have a bit on this week still, and I can just sort of put that all down there. So then we're going to bring in the stickers. So there's not as many. I don't want to use the darker one. Oh, actually, I don't want to because I've played with all the burgundy colours. So I feel like I need to stick to the burgundy colours. Ah, bugger it. So I'm going to put... Hold on, I need to bring in my postcards and work out where that's going to sit. So because that's going to sit there and take over most of that side, that's where I'm thinking I might put this over the other side. Now Charlotte's appointment's on Tuesday, so I don't want to put it on Tuesday, so I'm going to put it on Wednesday. Just down the edge here. Like the exact opposite to last week where we had just box overload. This is like box underload. And I'll put the other one on Saturday. But it'll sit under the postcard, so it won't be quite as obvious that it's not the same. I love this collection so much. It's so pretty. It's taking everything I have not to hit that planner up because it's just gorgeous. It's just gorgeous. Okay. So then we've got some more flowers that we can put around the place. I've got some marks there and it's bugging me, so I'm just going to fix that. Maybe I can't. I thought they were little glue marks, but anyway, we'll fix them some other way. Alright, so then we need to put Charlotte's appointment in, so that's Tuesday. I've got my little doctor's appointments from Lily and Lion, so I'm going to put that in just here. And just write that in. Now we are still going to be on lockdown, so because we're still on lockdown, we're going to stick our little mask stamps in again. So what did we decide with the... We decided that there wasn't really a colour that matched, didn't we? Alright, I'm going to try something. This sometimes works for me and it sometimes doesn't. So this is a... probably a little bit too... Oh, perfect. Haha. Maybe you need to go a little bit more red wine. So these are my Tombow markers. I don't use these as much as I think I should. That's good, that's good. But sometimes you can get away with using these to ink up stamps. So we're going to give it a shot. I'll obviously do it on a practice piece first, but we'll see how we go. I'm just grabbing that little Mars stamp from that Luscious Label set we used last week. Which one was it? I forgot to get that one. I'm just colouring in the stamp. These are water-based markers, so they won't do any damage at all to your stamp. I'm just going to do a slightly lighter hand because that's a little bit much. Where's my little cloth gone? So I'm just cleaning it up. So I just won't do quite as much ink this time. I was worried it wouldn't work, so I went really hard there. Not quite as crazy. So just run that over the top. We'll just stamp these down. I'm just going to put them on the corners here. So I think we're still in lockdown Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. And then what I'll do is I just want to write in here, where did my pen go? There it is. So we'll just do, I'm not quite sure what number the day is, so I'm just leaving it as lockdown day hash, and then I can add the days in, I'll count them up. Okay. So that's Charlotte's thing done. Need some more stickers in here, we know that bit. So I probably should have used the appointment sticker over there, but I didn't, so that's alright. I'm going to use this sort of pinky coloured one over here. This is going to be my little reminders. I'll grab these first. So I could have done some sticker surgery there. I'm just going to put that there anyway. So I'm just going to do reminders here. So I've just got some things that I need to, they should have happened, but they haven't happened because of lockdown. So I'm just putting them on a list so that I don't forget them. And I can obviously add things there if I need to. The only other thing I'm thinking is, do I want to put a Happy Mail kind of thing here? I don't have a lot of mail coming. Okay, I'm actually going to move this as well. So because all the others, because of the others, that they're sort of sitting above this line, I'm just going to move my to-do one so that it sits in the same spot. And then using that Luscious Labels stamp set, I'm going to grab the little ones here that look like circles. I'm going to use the Tombow again to stamp out two little lists. So I'll have to-do list down the side here. I'm just going to do the first, I think there's 6 on here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm just going to do the first 5. And I'll do them underneath this flowery one as well. So we'll just colour those in. This is never as clean as using an ink pad, but it means you don't have to have every colour of ink pad. And if you do have markers, especially water-based ones like these ones, it does sort of mean you don't have to buy quite as much, which I like. I like having the everything, but you don't need to have the everything. And my Tombows are quite possibly the most underused resource in my office. I don't use them anywhere near as often as I should, and that's a problem. One more thing. I'm going to move that to do over again. Whoops, I keep playing with it. The good thing is I'm going to hide that bits and pieces where I've got it written there. I'm going to put one of these little flower bouquets over the top, and that way you won't notice. There we go. That I've moved and messed that up like a bazillion times. So I'm going to make one of those, or make this one here my Happy Mail list. Making sure that's dry. And then I've also got my little to-do list there. Oh, that's really pretty. I've still got the 2 lots of flowers to put in here. I'm going to put this little post-it, not post-it, but sticky note kind of thing here. And it's just going to say work jobs. And what, oh no, hold on. No, it's not. It's going to do, this is going to be her general, I need to do an assessment movement for Charlotte. So I'm just going to assessment, movement, assessment, movement, assessment. So that way I won't forget that. And then last but not least, I'm gonna make myself a little list for these other work jobs that I've got to do. Where did my acetate thing go? There it is. So I'm gonna cut myself a bit. I'm gonna use that scrap paper, but I just grabbed a bit of cardboard. Just want to make this a little bit skinnier. Oops, I was gonna say, where's my guide gone? But there it is. Just don't want to get any of that Copic marker on my cardboard. I'm just cutting it a little bit thinner because I don't like it quite so wide. And then I'm just thinking here, how am I going to do this? I want it to have a little bit of colour because I don't like just the plain white. So let's do something else with this Tombow marker. I'm just going to pull my little matte thing over because I want to be able to do this on the white so you guys can see. So I'm just going to draw. Again, this is a water-based marker. So I've just drawn around it. So this is my sort of sizing. It'll wipe off fine, so it won't be a problem. I'm just going to colour in this box. Doesn't matter if it's not perfect. I'll go back and add a little bit of colour on the sides if I want to. I'm just going to put a little bit of water. Going to turn this into sort of like a watercolory wash kind of thing, and then I'm just going to stick this straight down. Oops, I was hoping that would stay straight, but anyway. Just giving that a bit of a rub. Pick it up. Wasn't quite what I wanted. Quite what I wanted. I wanted it to be a bit lighter. So, because it's not quite what I want, and because I wanted it to be a bit lighter, I'm going to grab another bit of cardboard, because thankfully, you know, I've got I won't go never-ending supply, but fairly never-ending supply of white cardboard. I seriously just go to Officeworks all the time, just buy copious boxes of the stuff. Alright, so this time I'm going to grabbing my paintbrushes. This is just what was left, so I haven't put any more Tombow on there. That's better, that's more what I wanted. Something a little bit lighter. So I'm just going to paint this on, just as a wash. It would actually be probably a little bit easier to wet the paper, but I kind of like this dry look I'm getting. That colour is actually really pretty. It's not quite dark enough now, but it'll work. Actually reminds me of Planners Anonymous pink. Just need something to hold this down. Off, I'm just going to put a little bit of washi on it just to sort of bring it in line with the rest of it. It is a little curled. That's okay. I'm not worried about it being curled, honestly. It'll be fine. I don't want to put the whole thing though. I feel like that's going to be too wide. So I'm just putting like 2/3 just so it looks where I think it should look. It's not straight. Okay. Take 2. I'm going to cut that. I'm going to line it up on my mat and stick it down so that I know it's not going anywhere. And then we'll put the tape on and we'll make it straight. This isn't perfect. It's a little bit, I don't like the top bit, sorry, as much as I liked the bottom bit. And if you were really inclined, you could do the back side as well. I think it'll be fine. I don't think I'll notice it, honestly. Okay. And just using one of these other headers, this little peachy one. Just gonna stick that there. I'm just going to do work reminders, and I'm just going to write them in really quickly before I lose the piece of paper that had them all written there. Now I have all my little jobs and stuff stuck in. I think I'm finished. I'm just looking at it going, have I missed something? It doesn't look like it's finished until you put that postcard in, and then to me it goes, oh yeah, right, we're finished. And then like I said, that little list just sits in the back there. It will flatten. It's just sort of sitting a bit curly at the moment, but it will flatten. And there we have it. I really like that. I think that acetate holder is really, really cool. I think I need to maybe do it again and get the angles exactly right. But overall, I think that's really cool. I kind of like the way I've used the Tombow. I probably should have used the Tombow to do the dates as well. I just didn't think of it. I was so set on my Copics, and sometimes I am. I'm really set on what I know is going to work. So that's why I go to my inks first, and then I go to my Copics. And when my Copic doesn't quite have what I want, then I have to sort of think, okay, well, what does? And that's where I remember I have Tombows. So I need to use my Tombows more often. I'm aware. But let me know which part of this you liked the best. Do you like the acetate? Do you like the stickers? Do you like the washi tape? By the way, go and check out this collection on Chasing Planner Piece. It is spectacular. I think you can still get the box. There might still be some of the boxes available. And make sure you go and check out the video of this month's Planner Piece box to check out exactly what I got. Don't forget to give this video a big old thumbs up if you did enjoy it, and make sure you're subscribed to my channel so you don't miss anything else from me. Hope you have an absolutely awesome week, and I'll catch you again in my next video. Sending lots of huggles. Bye!